Before you judge her mother, hear Hannah Gosselin's painful truth, the story TV never showed. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the real stories that the world tries to hide. You thought you knew the Gosselin family. You thought you saw the truth. But behind the smiling children, matching outfits, and perfect family dinners, there was silence, fear, and pain. This is not a story about reality TV. This is the story of Hannah Gosselin, the girl who grew up inside a lie and finally found her voice. Chapter 1: Behind the Perfect TV Family. 1,000 words. The world met the Gosselin family through a screen. 8 children. A strict mother. A fun-loving father. A busy but loving household that millions tuned in weekly to watch. But for Hannah, that world wasn't real. She didn't grow up in a home. She grew up in a studio disguised as a house. Cameras were everywhere. In the kitchen. In the living room. Near the stairs. Sometimes even near the bedrooms. Nothing was private. Not her tears. Not her laughter. Not her childhood. While other kids learned how to play freely, Hannah learned how to smile on command. She learned how to cry quietly. She learned that emotions weren't feelings, they were content. Her birthdays weren't personal. They were episodes. Her tantrums weren't normal. They were entertainment. Producers didn't need scripts. The house itself became the story. Kate's voice filled the air with commands. Schedules were strict. Clothes were color-coded. Food was timed. And Hannah, soft, sensitive, expressive, tried to survive inside it. She was told to behave. She was told to smile. She was told to perform. To the world, she was adorable. Inside, she felt invisible. The cameras captured everything except the truth. They didn't show exhaustion. They didn't show fear. They didn't show how heavy it felt to never have a quiet place to just be a child. And worse than that? They taught her something dangerous. That her worth came from being watched. To millions of viewers, this was family entertainment. To Hannah, it was a childhood stolen slowly, episode by episode. There was one name in the Gosselin house that carried silence. Colin. At first, viewers just noticed he appeared less on screen. Then he disappeared completely. No explanation. No goodbye. Just absence. Inside the house, Hannah noticed long before the audience did. Colin didn't come outside like the others. He didn't sit at the dinner table. He didn't laugh in the group scenes. He was removed. And nobody asked questions out loud. Kate controlled everything. Routine. Behavior. Image. If something threatened the perfect family brand, it was erased. Hannah remembered how her brother was treated differently. He was isolated. Separated. Silenced. Years later, the truth surfaced. There was a room. A locked room. Cameras attached to the walls. Lights turned off. Bolts on the door. Security watching. Colin would later say he was restrained. That he wasn't sick. He wasn't violent. He was just inconvenient. For Hannah, watching him fade was terrifying. Because if it could happen to him, it could happen to any of them. She learned a dangerous rule. Stay quiet. Stay obedient. Don't draw attention. Her childhood wasn't just controlled by cameras. It was controlled by fear. Not screaming fear. Silent fear. The kind that lives in your stomach. The kind that makes you smile when you want to cry. Fans once praised Kate for her discipline. But Hannah lived the other side. Discipline became pressure. Structure became control. The family wasn't broken on camera. It broke quietly, in locked rooms and unspoken rules. By the time Hannah reached her teenage years, something inside her changed. She was tired of performing. Tired of cameras. Tired of walking on invisible lines. And most of all, tired of not feeling safe. Her father, Jon, had slowly disappeared from public favor. Media portrayed him as unstable, irresponsible, distant. But to Hannah, he was peace. She began visiting him. At first, short visits. Then weekends. Then longer. Something felt different in his home. No cameras. No strict timing. No pressure to be perfect. One night, she made a decision. She didn't want to go back. At 14 years old, Hannah chose herself. This wasn't rebellion. This was survival. Jon saw a girl who looked exhausted. A girl who flinched at loud voices. A girl who had lived too long being watched. He fought legally. Quietly. Persistent. And finally, he won. Hannah moved in with him. Shortly after, Colin joined them. 2 children escaped. But escape isn't always clean. She lost daily contact with siblings. Group birthdays. Family traditions. The sextuplets weren't a unit anymore. They were divided. The world called it drama. But for Hannah, it was breathing. For the first time in years, she could sleep without cameras. She could cry without being filmed. She could be imperfect. That alone felt like magic. She wasn't running away. She was running toward peace. Years passed. The world forgot the Gosselins. But the pain stayed. Then, Hannah spoke. Not with anger. Not with revenge. But with truth. She described isolation. Fear. Pressure. She described how their family wasn't living. They were performing. Then came Colin's voice. He confirmed what fans had feared. Locked rooms. Restraints. Cameras. Kate responded publicly, saying he was mentally unstable. Some siblings sided with her. Some stayed silent. Hannah stood in the middle. Torn. Tired. Gentle. She didn't scream. She didn't attack. She simply said, "She's my mom." That sentence held years of pain and love. She didn't erase the trauma. She didn't excuse it. She simply acknowledged it. That is strength. Forgiveness doesn't always look like hugs. Sometimes it looks like quiet boundaries. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like compassion from far away. Hannah did not destroy her mother. She healed herself. And that was powerful. Today, Hannah is no longer one of 8. She is a graduate, an entrepreneur, a survivor. She built her own skincare brand. She found love. She smiles differently now. Not for cameras. Not for ratings. But freely. She still loves her siblings. She still respects her mother. She stands by her father. Her family isn't perfect. It's real. And that's enough. She doesn't pretend the scars aren't there. She carries them quietly. As proof she survived. She grew up as a product of television. But she became a person of strength. And that is her real story. What do you think? Will Hannah ever fully reconcile with her mother? Tell us in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories.